it is officially something about her launch week. We had a soft launch. We had some Bravo Leb cameos. Noticeably absent were some Pump Rules co-stars. Lala, Kent, and Sheena Shea were not in attendance, but Sheena had a lot to say about some stuff on her podcast. And then we have the Diddy of it all that we'll be getting into, because that video of him and Cassie, I have a lot of thoughts, and we're going to talk about it. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's going on, guys? Welcome on in. Hi, how is everybody? I hope you guys had a good weekend. Don't forget, we have new episodes of the Pop Report dropping this Wednesday and Friday, so be sure to subscribe to the Pop Report and catch all the latest tea. Let's Zactivate. Oh, no, we don't want to Zactivate. We're not trying to get Zactivated today. We're trying to have a good Monday. Monday, fun day. Hey. Oof, what's going on? Look, I got a fresh haircut, up in the gym, working on my fitness. He's my witness. Ooh, wee. Let's get it. Monday, fun day. The way if you tackle your morning, you tackle your day. So we're starting the morning off good, strong. If you're listening to this later in the day, it's okay. You got the rest of the day to make it up. Okay. Lots to get into today. But I guess we can start with something about her. We'll get into the Diddy stuff because there was a leaked video, hotel footage of Diddy abusing Cassie, his ex, after her lawsuit that came out, I believe, back in November. So we'll get into all of that. But something about her. Arian and Katie's sandwich shop is opening this Wednesday in West Hollywood, May 22nd. So if you want to check out something about her, maybe we can check it out. I don't know if I'll be going into something about her this. Maybe I'll invite like one of my friends to have lunch at something about her. That'd be kind of fun. I don't want to go on Wednesday though, because I feel like Wednesday it's going to be so busy and it's just nope, too many people and too much going on. And I would rather go on like a more chill day, maybe Thursday, maybe. I know Friday might be pretty poppin' too. Maybe I'll go on Thursday. I don't know, TBD. But let me know if you want like a something about her sandwich review. Because there's a lot, like people are talking a lot of things about something about her. So we had the soft launch, which happened a couple of days ago, happened over the weekend. And, soft launch number 3. Here we go again. But we had Stassi Schroeder that showed up and showed out to come and support. We had Andy Cohen that showed up to show out and come and support. And we had Lindsay Hubbard from Summer House. So Andy was in town for the FYC event for NBC. So Watch What Happens Live is up for an Emmy. So obviously they do the FYC events for your consideration. So he was doing one for Watch What Happens Live. I was lucky enough to get to attend with my girl Norma. Shout out to Norma Maldonado. We had so much fun. We had a blast. We hung out with Andy Cohen. We hung out with the Housewives of Orange County because that was a surprise. Got to see Molly Shannon. I didn't get to meet Molly Shannon. She was the moderator. They did like a fireside chat. And it was good. Had a good time. It was a lot of fun. Took lots of photos, had some drinks, had some good food. It was quite the good. But wait, can I just have a moment to flex for 2 seconds upon meeting Andy Cohen? Okay. So Andy's walking through the crowd. Obviously, he's like, chatting with everybody and taking photos and all of that stuff. And so I see him walking, like he's about to walk past me, and I'm like, do I lean in? Do I like ask, do I like introduce myself? And like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. He's so busy and he's like, everyone's pulling him around. So I believe she was the VP of communications at NBCU. I believe that's what I ended up chatting with her later in the night. But so she was walking with him and as they're about to walk past me, because I was like, do I lean in? Do I not? Like everyone's pulling him left and right. She's like, wait, Andy, this is Zack Peter. You need to take a photo with him. He does so much for the network. And so we took a photo and then she thanked me. She's like, thank you so much for what you do for Bravo. And I was like, so like one, taken aback, and just two, like very great. I was like, what? Like, my name, you know who I am? Like, I was very grateful for that, and then I saw her later in the night, and I walked up to her, and I was like, "Hi, I just wanted to, like, formally, like, introduce myself and say thank you very much, and I appreciate the kind words," and she's like, "Yeah, we have to keep a pulse on all of these things." Like, it was just very, very validating for me, especially when I've had a little bit of, self-doubt lately. It was nice and it was good validation. I love Bravo. I've always loved Bravo, even when I have my critiques of Bravo. I've still very much uh love it for, I love it for its Roni season. What was it? 12, season 13, the struggling season of Roni, and I love it for its Roni season 10. Give me Dorinda Medley, Tinsley Mortimer, Bethany Frankel. That was a good season. So it was, you love it for the good and the bad. You stick by it, but it was good. It was nice. I had a lot of fun. Great time. Thanks to shout out to Norma. Thank you, Norma. Love you, Norma. Back to something about her. Sorry. So that's why Andy Cohen was in town. So he was able to pop into something about her, have a sandwich, chat with everyone. Lindsay Hubbard was there. I know there were some rumors that she's pregnant. It did not appear to be so. I believe now those rumors were from a couple of weeks ago. So I believe she would be showing a lot more. She had a teeny tiny flat little tummy waist. I don't believe there's any little baby inside there. And if it is, then you know what? Good for her. When she's ready to share that news, that is her news to share. I just know that people were reporting that she was pregnant, or they were, I don't know, there's like a rumor that people were trying to put out there. Doesn't appear to be the case. So, at least according to her teeny tiny little waist and her flat tummy, I would assume she's now, several weeks pregnant, and she would be showing a little bit. She would have a little bit of a Chipotle belly, is she not? So, we can put those rumors to rest, at least for now. That said, I believe I don't, unclear why she was in LA, but I believe they're going to start filming the next season of Traders later this week or possibly next week. It's supposed to happen soon. I know it was like an end of May situation, unclear of exactly when, but we'll see. New season of Traders should go into production soon. I believe Lindsay is on the cast for Traders, as is Dorinda Medley. So, and there was one other Bravo person that I saw that was supposed to be joining. Oh my God, why am I blanking? I saw it the other day. Oh, Monique Samuels. Yes, thank you, Joe Mendoza. Monique Samuels, I believe, is also, she's rumored to be joining. I'm pretty confident that Lindsay and Dorinda are going to be on the new season of Traders, but I did see on Twitter that they were reporting that Monique Samuels is also supposed to be joining the new season of Traders. Kenya Moore and Teresa Giudice, I don't believe are joining the new season of Traders. I believe they were just doing a promo skit for the NBC upfronts, but we'll see. Now, back to the sandwich shop, because there are a lot of people that are trolling the sandwich shop based off of photos from people that went to the soft launch. They've posted some photos of it, and people are not loving the photos because they're not loving the sandwiches. They're not loving the presentation. Some people were saying that they look like Trader Joe's wraps. Some people were saying that Panera could do better because at least Panera offers sides to the sandwiches. Some people were saying that the prices were too high because they were like $15, $16 sandwiches. Oh, it was very interessante, which I have, if you're watching this on either Spotify or YouTube, I'm curious what your thoughts are about these sandwiches, or if you saw any of them on Twitter. I'm curious how you're feeling about them. But so they now this is a soft launch. I want to remind everybody this is a soft launch for their business. So I would imagine, I don't know if they do have sides. I believe they have sides, but the presentation. So this was a soft launch. So this was for people to come and basically try the sandwiches and take photos from the shop. We had Stassi Schroeder that was there. We had Andy Cohen that was there. We had Lindsay, and a bunch of other people were there. Lots of photos and videos from Terry, Katie's mom. She was posting them on Instagram on her stories. But so some people are saying that these sandwiches look a little mid, that they look a little not fully there because they're like relatively small, number one. And number 2, there are no side dishes. They have like a pickle wedge. Yeah, pickle wedge is what you would call that. And so it's just 1/4 of a pickle and a sandwich. They are, I mean, either they're giving you some really big ass trays, or excuse me, or the portion of the sandwich is kind of little tiny. That I do kind of see what people are saying about the price, about 15, 16, 17, $18 sandwiches. Like, I kind of get it. Um, they're not fully, like, they're not big portions. Some people were comparing it to Panera. I wonder what are Panera prices? Let's see. And then let me see if I had the menu. A lot of people were there. Danny Pellegrino was also there. Everyone's posting their stories. Come check out something about her. And I believe Katie posted the menu. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up because I had it and I was looking at it. Oh, here we go. So these sandwiches range from, okay, so we have the Diane, which is $16, the Carrie, which is $15, the Reese, which is $16, the Drew, the Viola, the Cameron, the Nancy, the Meg, 14, 15, 14, 19. Wow, the Cameron is $19. Why is the Cameron $19? What is in it? Rustic ciabatta, pesto garlic aioli, um, salami, roasted pepper, sun-dried tomatoes, pepperoncinis, bread, onions, provolone, balsamic, marmalade, fresh basil, zesty lemon, dressed arugula. Okay, I mean, it sounds like a pretty standard salami sandwich for $19. You can get the viola. You can get it with the viola is $17, or you can get it without turkey for $14. So I wonder if the names of the sandwiches seem to be inspired by uh, famous actresses. Diane, I'm assuming, um, Kerry Washington, Reese Witherspoon, Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, Viola Davis, Nancy. Maybe they named that one after my mom, Nancy. Toasted sourdough, bacon, romaine lettuce, tomato, and mayo. There's the Meg, traditional lavish Greek salad. Oh, this is the Greek salad one that Lala tried. Traditional lavish Greek salad. Oh, traditional lavash Greek salad, signature tzatziki, feta, sun-dried tomatoes, herb mix, romaine lettuce. Okay. That's the Mag, $14. They have a grilled cheese for $11. Oh, you can get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That one's $8. I do love a PB&J. And then they do have sides, and their sides are chips. They don't have fries, they don't have coleslaw, they don't have potato salad. They have those bags of the kettle cooked chips. Those are $3. So they have sea salt, salt and vinegar, Maui onion, jalapeno heat. $3 each. They also have an assortment of sweets, different pastries that they'll have. They also sell beer, cider, spirits. They have Loverboy Spritz there. All the Loverboy Spritz is there. They have Loverboy hard tea. They have hard kombucha, and then they have different wines. And they also have non-alcoholic drinks. They have spring water, sparkling water, box water. Ooh, they have Olipop. Love Olipop. They have Leisure Hydration. I don't know what that is. Better Booch Kombucha. Okay, non-alcoholic kombucha. And Cha Sparkling Tea. Okay, cha. All sandwiches come with a pickle spear and can be made as a salad if you're not in the mood for a sandwich. Oh, interesting. Interessante. Okay. Cool. Cool. But see, people are just saying that these sandwiches are a little mid. They do look a little small and they do look a little basic. And then I saw other people were arguing, well, it's LA. Those are standard prices for a sandwich in LA. What is Panera? Let's see what Panera's prices are. Panera, let's see, website. Actually, we will look it up here. I wonder if you can Postmate something about her. Okay, Panera. Wow. So Panera's prices are a little bit smaller, a bit more affordable. Wow. Panera prices are $11.99, $9.89, $9.29. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Sandwiches. Okay, so they have Uh, Tuna salad sandwich, pretty basic. Let's see, what's their most expensive one? NutriBata cheesesteak, okay, $13. Um, Here we go. This is pretty comparable to something about her. It's a grilled chicken and avocado BLT, 13.29. You can get a whole one. Oh, so this is a half sandwich. 13.99 for a half sandwich. So probably about the same size as a something about her. Okay. You can, and chips are not included, but you can add chips at Panera for 159. You can add a baguette, you can add a cookie for 3.99. Okay. So the prices are fairly comparable. This is like a boutique sandwich shop in West Hollywood. Okay. Panera is a much bigger establishment. So I kind of feel like Panera's prices can be a little more comparable. I mean, if their most expensive sandwich for a half sandwich is 13.99, but if you get a full sandwich, what's the difference between a half and a full? That's what I want to know. They have a grilled cheese for 8.59. Something about her has a grilled cheese for $11. But again, it's a boutique spot, right? So I'm not as like bothered by these price points. I think people are being a little dramatic about that. Okay, so the grilled chicken and avocado BLT, it's 13.29. But if you want a whole sandwich instead of a half a sandwich, it doesn't really say how big a whole versus a half is. The photo, I mean, it looks relatively big, right? I don't know. But if you want a whole one, it's an additional $5. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So about $19 for a full sandwich. That's pretty comparable to something about her. And Panera's, again, they can afford to be a little more competitive with their pricing. They're a much bigger establishment. They have multiple locations. So I'm not as bothered about these sandwiches. I mean, I will say the Meg, I believe the Meg is a vegan sandwich, but people were giving the Meg some real shit because it looks like listen, when somebody said it looked like a Trader Joe's wrap, I thought that that was funny and very comparable. I was like, yeah, that actually does look like one of those, in the refrigerated section, they have those like pre-made wraps ready to go. That's what the Meg kind of looks like in this photo. I'm not going to lie. But if you look at the menu, I believe the Meg is vegan, right? Let's see. What's in the Meg? Tradition. Oh, that's the one. That's the Greek salad one. Okay. So it's a wrap. It's vegetarian. Or wait, or is that vegan? Nope. It's vegetarian. It's not vegan. So there is. Oh, because there's cheese in there. Vegetarian means no meat. Okay, so I was right. Yeah, there's no actual like protein meat in it, but it's 14 bucks. That is a little pricey for that little. It's like a little wrap. It's like it's in a tortilla. Um so listen, they're starting off because I know that the criticism on the internet. They're like, "How dare you attack a woman-owned business?" Like everyone's trying to make this like a feminist or like a misogynist. The amount of times that I've been called a misogynist over this past weekend, I'm like, okay, great, got it. I'm misogynistic. Cool, you're homophobic. You have anything negative to say about me? Homophobic. You have anything negative to say about me over there? Racist. I'm Mexican. You're racist. I'm gay. You're homophobic. You have criticism of me? That's what it is. You're homophobic and racist. And that's just what I'm going to respond to people with now. Anytime they give me one of their dumb, low budget arguments, racist, homophobic, if they can just throw those words out there at me, I can throw them right back. Why? Like, just because I think the sandwich looks little doesn't necessarily mean I want to attack a woman owned business. It means, we have opinions. Listen, the internet was trolling it. And some of the jokes were kind of funny. Like one person, I saw one account posted, remember Fire Festival? When there was like that holds back. I don't know if you saw the guy's in prison now, but all the documentaries that they did where he had like this big, supposed to be this big lavish influencer festival, and people paid a lot of money, and then they weren't able to deliver on anything, and then they had these like styrofoam containers that had like this cheese, basic little cheese sandwich in there, and it was like nothing, and that's what they were feeding people at Fire Festival. And so somebody took that photo from Fire Festival and then said, I went to something about her and this is what I found. So I thought that that was funny. Sandwiches not coming with sides, I think is fairly standard for little boutique sandwich shops. No, what I will say, my critique though about the side dish thing is I do think they should offer some sort of, whether it's a coleslaw or a potato salad or I mean, fries, I love fries. Don't get me started on fries are my shit. That's my food. But um, I understand the criticism of no sides. I think they should make sides available because according to the menu, the only thing they have for you to order as a side is either a pastry or a bag of chips. I'm like, what if I don't want a bag of chips? What if I want like some fries? Or listen, or even you because you can bulk batch potato salad or coleslaw, and then you just give a little scoop. You do $2, $3 for a little side. Lots of spots here in LA do that. Lots of spots outside of LA do that. So that's my only like little. I love that there's alcohol. I listen. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna order me some wine. Maybe I'll order me maybe a lover boy. The hard teas give me kind of heartburn. Being honest with you, but I do like their cocktails. Oh my god, I had their new Loverboy Cosmo. My mom got me a pack for Easter. Ooh, those fucked me up. So they are strong. But yeah, so I'm gonna give something about her a try. I'll let you know what I think. I believe they have gluten-free options as well, so I will have a gluten-free sandwich. Uh, I'll give it a try. We'll make some content out of it. We'll have some fun. We'll see. But I'm curious. Okay, I'm a little afraid to, but we're gonna dip into the live chat and see what you guys are saying about something about her and these sandwiches. Will you be giving it a try? Which sandwich looks good to you? Okay. JJ Sunshine says the prices at something about her seem normal to me, but I live in NYC and that's how much gourmet sandwich shops charge here. Also, most NYC shops, not bodegas or delis, charge separately for sides, chips, and drinks. Correct. I agree with that. It's not a value meal at McDonald's. It's a boutique sandwich shop and it's in West Hollywood. Like, what do you expect? Like, people in West Hollywood, when you're going out for lunch, like, this is what you come to expect. I will say there was a restaurant called Ink by who owned Ink? But they had like a smaller one that I remember I'd go to for lunch called Ink Sack, and they would come with little sandwiches, and I believe they came with the side of chips, and it was like in a cute little bag, like like a bag lunch, a paper bag, like a cute little black bag, and they'd write your name on it, like your school lunch, like your lunch bag, not like an actual lunch bag, but like the brown paper bags, and that was really cute. Um. End up says, I wonder if the only hot food they have is that grilled cheese. Yes. Well, some of these sandwiches do look like they may be grilled. Um, I believe. Maybe. I don't know. No, they all look pretty cold. They all look like they're cold sandwiches. So, hmm. But I will say the Meg does look a little mid. Not gonna lie. Let's see. Brittany says, I don't see the hype lasting long. Vanderpump Rules castmates won't be going there often. That's including Katie and Ariana. And the main reason they'll have customers. Well, see, and here's the thing. This is what we're learning. And again, this is not criticism of Katie and Ariana. This is not criticism of a woman-owned business, independent women, snap, snap, pat the puss. Okay. It's so weird that people are like, "You're a misogynist." I'm like, "Why?" Because I agree with Lala, who's a strong, independent businesswoman that's also a single mother of 2 or 1 and soon to be 2. Got it. I'm misogynist for supporting one woman over another woman. I think you're misogynist for pitting women against each other. Um, but so to Brittany's point about losing the hype without the cast members, that's why you see Schwartz busting his butt at Schwartz and Sandy's. That's why you see Jax busting his butt at Jax's Studio City bar. That's why you see Schwartz doing Tom Tom pump brunches on the weekends, which is now a thing that they do. He was telling me all about it. He's like, yeah, no, we do brunch. And we call it the pump brunch because they put the pump sign over the Tom Tom Garden that didn't have an official name. And now it's the Pump Garden at Tom Tom. And so they have brunch there because they weren't open for brunch before. It used to only be a nightlife bar. But so, yeah, uh, that's the hard part is he's there serving drinks and mingling and taking selfies and chatting with everyone. And that's kind of, you know, that's kind of where it's at. You kind of need to be there 24/7. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to pull people in. Schwartz was saying that. I guess I don't want to like out the details of our personal conversation, but like he was saying that he's starting to notice that more people that come into Schwartz and Sandy's are more like locals that are, letting it be like their go-to dinner spot when they have like date night or they're going out or something. That it's becoming less Vanderpump specific. The sandwich shop, listen, the location that they're in, I've talked about this. I've seen many businesses because I used to work a couple of blocks from there. That location has not been very successful. It's always been like a smoothie bar or a health nut food bar. It's been like those kind of I don't want to say it hasn't been a deli, but it's been like those types of little like a smoothie bar, like a Jamba Juice. And they don't last very long. And you would think like smoothie bars, salad bars, those would be a place you would kind of go for lunch. Um, but I just kind of feel like there's so many options in that area. You even have the Pacific Design Center, which has a bunch of different lunch options. So in terms of like fast, easy, convenient, Pacific Design Center has options. You also have a bunch of like little you have like a Joe and the Juice, and they used to have a La Pon there. I don't remember what they replaced it with, but like little cafes and stuff. You have a lot of those there. It's not going to be an easy sell. A lot of places, especially when people go there for lunch, like they have a Zinke, love Zinke, and people go to like Zinke and take their laptops and kind of work from Zinke. They also have free Wi-Fi, so it's gonna be tough, and I'm not saying that because I wanna be critical of them, I'm just saying knowing the location, knowing that specific location, the West Hollywood location, just seeing how, Jackson and Schwartz are really fighting to keep their establishments open, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge for them. I'll say that. Hard seltzers give me heartburn too, yeah. Was Anne there? No, Anne was out buying batteries. Have you seen the Duracell commercial? There's literally a Duracell commercial with Anne, and she's like, I used to buy the batteries all the time. Because remember, Sandwell was like, I keep the house stocked with pens and batteries. And Anne was like, I always bought the batteries. And then she drops the batteries off at Ariana in the end. She's like, Here, Ariana, I brought you batteries. I'm like, Are we still doing this shtick? Support women. Don't want to be critical of a Duracell commercial. Would hate to be called misogynistic for calling a commercial dumb. He won. Who won Top Chef? Oh my! Oh yes. The guy Ink, the guy who opened Ink, Michael um, Voltaggio. Voltaggio. Yes, I remember. I didn't know he was on, or I guess I did know he was on Top Chef, but again, that was years and years ago. Do they have a tuna melt? I'm sure they do have a tuna melt. It's named the Joanna in honor of Johanna Krupa. But I'm bum if you got that joke. You're a real Bravo fan. Tuna Mount. The tuna mount is named the Joanna. Let me know if you got that joke. JJ Sunshine says the something about her hours are odd as well. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sandwich shops stay open until 6 or 7 here in NYC because some people like me will work late and grab a sandwich before heading home. I will say 10 to 4 is pretty standard. At least for LA. I know that like a lot of our coffee shops here in downtown, like the boutique ones, yeah, like a lot of those boutique cafes and stuff stay open until like 2 or 3. It's something that started happening in like COVID era 2020, but I don't know why. I just know that that's something that has started to that's pretty standard for LA to close. I mean, 4 is kind of, is a little later than again, 2 to 3 is typically when I see a lot of these spots start to close down. But Joe says it's probably just the novelty thing. People go there to try an Ariana and Katie sandwich, similar to how folks go to Sir or Pump to go to the VPR establishment. Yeah, it's more of the novelty. I agree with you. And so, but that's the hard part is how do you keep it, how do you keep it going? How do you keep it early? My birthday is actually June 15th, not June 17th, but close. My birthday is coming up. Yes. And a month. We still have a month, guys. What is it, the 20th? Yeah, we got time. You're like my mom. She's like, you know, what are we doing for your birthday? I'm like, Nancy, I don't know. It's a month away. I don't know. She's like, and don't tell me you don't know. I don't know. Oh, Mallory, not Mallory says, I loved Quiznos. I used to go there all the time in high school, and now they're closed. We are not comparing something about her to Quiznos. Next, you're gonna say Jersey Mike's. Okay. Should we well, noticeably absent from the Something About Her soft launch, though, none of the Vanderpump Rules cast members were there. I guess they only showed up when it was on camera, right? Lala wasn't there, Sheena wasn't there, Jimmy Johns. Um, so that is interesting. But Sheena did talk about her friendship with Tom and Ariana, because I guess Ariana said, that Sheena, or someone said that Sheena was a better friend to Tom than they were to Ariana. Oh, Sheena also wasn't at the DSW event. That's very true. Well, she did kind of address it. Will Katie be there all the time? I assume so. She don't have a job. I don't know what else Katie's doing. Aside from knitting on the couch, I don't know what else Katie be doing. She better be serving some sandwiches at the sandwich shop every day. But then again, to Joe's point about the novelty, um, once you meet Katie at the sandwich shop, like, eventually Katie becomes too attainable and accessible. Sorry, yeah, too accessible. And then are people going to continue to want to be like, oh, hey, Katie, coming to see you at the sandwich shop? You know, After a while, I feel like that luster wears off. That's why at least Schwartz, go on Tuesdays for Vanderpump Watch Nights, and Schwartz is going to be there serving up drinks, serving up shots, whatever, right? I guess we don't support all women. La la. I don't know. Listen, Lala was pimping out something about her sandwiches, though. Remember the first two soft launches? She was there. She was eating it. She was trying it. She was supporting it. So I don't know. I don't want to get into a fight about that stuff again, because I think some of those arguments are dumb. Listen, if you don't like Lala, then just don't like Lala. If you think she's, a hypocrite, okay, then you think she's a hypocrite. But people just don't stop. I think something about her needs their own motorcycle with a sidecar for deliveries and can be the delivery girl with the custom helmet. That would be a cute idea. How do you keep something about her going film with all your coworkers? Right, but the show's on pause. That's interesting. What did Lala rename her makeup brand? Give Them. It used to be Give Them Lala. Now it's just Give Them. Give Them Beauty. Unpopular opinion, but I really like Lala. She's my favorite. Cassie, don't say that. It is like the pitchforks come out. You say you like Lala. You say, oh, I happen to agree. It's funny because I'm like, I like Ariana. I don't like Katie. I've been very honest about that. I like Ariana. I like Lala. I see Ariana's side. I see Katie's side of things. I see Lala's side of things. I see Sheena's side of things. But God forbid you say you see Lala's side of things. Then everyone's like, well, how dare you? And they get their pitchforks out and they like want to come for you. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, yo. And then you wonder why she calls you rabid. Because you're foaming at the mouth, bitch. Okay, but let's talk about Sheena, because Sheena says that she's not a better friend to Sandoval than Ariana. And she says if Ariana actually watched the season, she would know that. She said this on her Shenanigans podcast, which is kind of true, because Ariana at the reunion was like, I didn't watch the season. I couldn't watch it. And Sheena's like, listen, if you don't say that I'm a better friend to Sandoval and not to Ariana when you didn't even watch the season. I don't think that Sheena was a better friend to Sandoval than she was to Ariana. And according to Sheena, she says that she just treated Sandoval like a human, but she wasn't in any way trying to be more loyal to him. But she was conflicted because originally she didn't want to make up with him, but obviously they're filming a show and they have to interact with each other and they have to engage with each other, which ultimately opened the door for them to mend their friendship. Again, the shows are about conflict and resolution, right? As much as we want to have boundaries, it's challenging, right? Because it's like, I understand, because I even saw Heather McDonald. I saw she did an interview and she was like, well, Ariana didn't want to film with him, but she films at the beach and she filmed, she had moments with him at James's house. And, you know, she just didn't want to do it in the finale because she has boundaries. And I'm like, I get that. I understand that. But you also have to understand you're filming, like, it is part of your job, right? And your job isn't necessarily to have boundaries. Your job is to lean into the storylines. That's part of your job. Think of it like this is the finale, right? This is when you show up because you need the finale to have big ratings so that the reunion opens strong and then you get picked up for another season. I don't think Ariana cares if it gets picked up for another season. One, because I don't think she cares about the show very much. She never really has. And it's nothing against her, but like she never really wanted to be on. She always said that she joined the show because Sheena was on an island and she wanted to make sure Sheena had a friend on the show because Sheena was on the outs with Katie and Kristen and Stassi. And then I think she stayed on the show because of her relationship with Sandoval, and the show is really important to Sandoval. And I think she enjoyed it, but I just don't think it was very natural for her to like want to do reality television. And I don't think she, the show was never as important to her as it was to other people. Also, now she has many other opportunities that are coming her way, and good for her. I'm happy that she does have these opportunities. But you have to think of it like the finale of Vanderpump Rules is like the Super Bowl, right? You work all season to get to this big pinnacle point in the end. And it's like saying you got one of your star players that, it's time to go to the Super Bowl and it's time for you to play on the field. And yeah, technically, when you get to the Super Bowl, you can have boundaries. Sure, you're allowed to have boundaries. But at the same time, is this the time to flex that card? It's the fucking Super Bowl. It's the finale of Vanderpump Rules. Like, you have to get on the field. You can't be like, well, yeah, I just don't really feel like going on the field today. And like, I need to protect my mental health. So I'm just gonna like sit on the bench and like let the rest of the team play the Super Bowl. Cause like I feel like I've done enough. It's like this is when everybody brings their A game. You bring it all. You know what I mean? So this is the big moment. The Super Bowl is the finale. The finale is the Super Bowl. This is where you show up and you show out more than you did the rest of the season. You can kind of phone it in the rest of the season, but the finale is where you put on your shoulder pads and you go on the field and you give it your all. And that's kind of what it is. You know that there's supposed to be a big moment in the finale. You know that there's supposed to be some big confrontation. And had they not broken the fourth wall, I think the finale would have totally been blah. Well, what would we have gotten out of the finale? Everyone would have been like, "Yay, Ariana!" And we would have clapped for 2 seconds because she went to Applebee's. Sorry, that's what it is. You show up when it's game time. Again, you can kind of skirt through the rest of the season and let the rest of the team pick up the other pieces. And let's be honest, did Ariana really give us much this season? No, we had a lot of scenes with her and Katie rolling their eyes at Sheena all season. Ew, Sheena, ew, Sandoval, We had a lot of those scenes, which were boring. I'm sorry, those were. Name your favorite scene with Ariana that didn't include Tom Sandoval this season. Hmm? Oh, you liked when she was rolling her eyes with Katie in the garden, or you liked when she was rolling her eyes with Lala when she was walking down West Hollywood? You know, Lala should have had her own storyline instead of pushing Ariana so much. Lala did have her own storyline. She was working on her business, Give Them Lala, and she was having a baby. Do you not remember? She was on a fertility journey. Naturally, the cast, there's always going to be one central storyline that ties everybody together, and then they're going to be the individual storylines. Sheena was struggling with her OCD and letting go of Summer Moon. Lala was focusing on building her business and trying to get pregnant on her own, moving on from Randall. Ariana and Katie were building their sandwich shop. Tom Sandoval was trying to rehab his image. Tom Schwartz had his storyline with Joe. James and Allie got a house and then he got the dog back. Like everybody had their individual storylines in addition to the central storyline that ties all of the cast together. Um, I don't think the show needed Ariana to talk with Sandoval. If they continued to just act authentically, it would remain a good season. But here's the thing, it was authentic for them to be willing to wanting to move on from Scandival. So I think it was authentic for them to be like, "All right, fuck it. We're just gonna if we have to film with Tom and he's gonna be around, like, why are we gonna constantly be having conflict with him? He's apologizing. He wants to be better." Like, I think that's their reality. I'm not saying I believe him or not or what. I'm just saying I think that is their reality of filming the show. But also their reality is the show now. Like their real lives. I saw Schwartz was like, "Oh, well, if we break the fourth wall too much, then the show becomes less authentic." And it's like, no, that makes the show more authentic because the show is their lives now. That's just what their lives have become. Their job is the show. And you kind of have to let the audience in on that because they're not just friends that are working at a restaurant anymore. Like their lives have changed and evolved. And maybe this is where we move on from the show or we move on from them being on this Vanderpump Rules style show. But like that's just kind of where we're at with things. And no, I don't think that Ariana needed to talk with Sandoval or the show needed Ariana to talk with Sandoval, but we needed some form of conflict, right? They brought in Joe to go talk to Katie, and Katie's like, "I think you're ugly. Don't talk to me." And so it's like, okay, there was no conflict there. There was no resolution there. Katie was not being very support women to Joe, which I'm saying that with hyperbole because obviously I'm making a joke of how ridiculous some of these extremist opinions are when it comes to, Lala doesn't support women because she didn't go to the something about her sandwich shop soft launch for the third time. Just some of the arguments are a bit silly. But I don't think they needed Ariana to talk with Sandoval, but something needed to happen, and if that was what but also they kinda did because that's kind of what the season was building up to, was, is this going to be Tom's redemption? And it wasn't so much that I think he would have gained redemption from having that conversation with Ariana, because everything she said in her confessional, I think she could have said to him. Like, what was one of the best scenes that we loved from the Sandoval finale last season? When Sheena called Tom out on his bullshit. Remember? He's just like, "Oh my god, her mental health. I was afraid for her mental health." And then Sheena's like, "Well, then that's when you call Tanya and that's when you call her friends and you have all of us come and pick up the pieces." Like, people loved that scene between Sheena and Tom, which was the final 2 minutes of that finale, because Sheena actually held Tom accountable. And I think there would have been a way for Ariana to hold Tom accountable. Um and I do get I don't know, I think it's multi-layered, and I see it from Ariana's perspective, and I see it from Lala's perspective, and I see it from Sheena's perspective, and I see it from the show perspective, and then I see it from, Ariana's mental health and boundaries, and I get it. I see it from all angles. I'm just like, but again, I happen to see it as the finale is the Super Bowl, and it's time to play. This is when it's time to show up. That was a big moment. Ariana is right. She does not have to be a player in his redemption arc. He wanted to put her on the defensive so she looks like an ass for not forgiving him. But I think there would have been a way to do it. And if you see, a lot of the audience isn't ready to forgive Tom Sandoval. So I think it's about how she does it, how she approaches it, that would have given him that redemption or not. I think she could have owned that moment and ended up coming out of that finale with people still adoring her the way that they have, and the second that she felt like he wasn't being receptive to it, she's like, "Listen, I gave you my time. I gave you your 2 minutes. This is hypocrisy. You could have had this conversation with me off camera. I don't care to entertain this anymore." But, you know, have that moment, and we would have all rallied behind Ariana and cheered for her at the end of it. I think, because I mean, people are still cheering for her and rallying around her, you know? Lala calling Tom a groomer and then hugging him was ridiculous. Like, come on. Well, again, but the thing is, like, humans are allowed to evolve and change their opinions over time. And she even said that part of the reason she was calling him a groomer was, one, because that's what Rachel called him, and two, because of her own experience with Randall. And she was very open about saying, "Hey, I did have this lens, but I think it was a lot of projection." I think we do see some growth in Lala, where she admits that, like, yeah, there was a part of my life where I wasn't honest on camera, and I don't want to live that way anymore. And yes, there was a point where I was hating men every second because of my situation with Randall, and I don't want to be that person anymore. And I think we've seen some growth and evolution. I think it's okay. I don't think that makes you a flip-flopper. I think people tend to call Sheena more of the flip-flopper because she tries to see both sides and play both angles of things. Which I don't think is a bad quality. I think in real life it's a good quality, but on reality television, you're definitely considered a flip flopper. So very okay. This is a good point, Mallory. Mallory says that Tom only said he only filmed that scene with Sheena because he was promised Winter House. That is true. Regardless of why he filmed it, it was still a great scene though. But that is a good point that I completely forgot about. What cast members have their eggs all in the basket with Vanderpump Rules? Um, I don't know. I mean, they all kind. James has his DJing. Um, Shayna's an influencer. Lala has her beauty business, and she has Give Them Lala Beauty, Give Them Lala Skin, Give Them Lala Baby. Um, James DJing. Lala has her business. Sheena, you know, i- has really leaned into full time influencer. She does vlogs for YouTube. Schwartz has Schwartz and Sandy's and Tom Tom. Tom has his band. Ariana has all her endorsement deals and something about her. Katie has something about her. I don't think any of them have really put all of their eggs in the Vanderpump basket. But people are mad at Sheena because they're saying that she's launched new merch that says, "How can I make this all about me?" Which I think is kind of funny. I think it's hilarious, and I was laughing about it. But people were really mad about it. They're like, "Oh, how dare she do this?" I'm like, it's cute, it's cheeky. Support women, support female-owned businesses, and buy your "How can I make this about me" T-shirt. Go buy your merch. They even have one for guys that Brock was modeling, which I thought was really cute. You know what? Support women. Go to something about her and eat a sandwich in your "How can I make this all about me" shirt, rocking your Give Them Lala bronzer. Oh, Sheena has her new t-shirt merch. Yeah. I love Sheena's new. It's cute. I think it's funny and it's cute. Schwartz opened a floral shop. He did? Recently? He opened a floral shop? Schwartz? Watering flowers? Watering Joe's flower? What? Huh. Kind of cute. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Exactly, Sydney. Good point. Has anyone bought any of the Give Them Lala stuff? How are they? Good quality. I have the Give Them Lala bronzer and I have the Give Them Lala face mist. Face mist is really nice. It's really light. The bronzer is really good too. Um, So of those 2, those are just, it gives you a little tan, especially if like you're uneven. Oh, I also have the body bronzer that I use. That I use when I have like when I wear sleeveless and I need to fix my farmer's tan and I want my arms to kind of pop and my muscles to kind of, you know, pop a little bit. I'll use a little bit of that, mostly on my arms or on like my neck, right? Like cuz or like on my chest, like if I'm tan in my face and my neck and then like, my titties need a little loving, then I'll do a little Lala bronzer on my collarbone, for like low cut. So yeah. But see, I support Give Them Lala Beauty, and I'm gonna go to something about her and buy some sandwiches. I support all the ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Um, but let's move on from Vanderpump and let's talk about something that's whew, a little more spicy, and that's all the Diddy stuff. But before we get into Diddy, I do want to shout out one of my favorite wine brands, and that's Dry Farm Wines. You guys, they have sugar-free, low-carb, keto, paleo wines that are and without all these additives, so it's like hangover-free wine. There's no toxic additives in it. Third-party tested for purity, lower in sulfites, farmed organically, vegan. Lower in sulfites helps not get that gnarly headache, and then since there's no sugar, that also helps you not get that hangover. Listen, lower in sulfites, no toxic additives, and sugar free. All those things definitely help. And that's why I call it my hangover free wine. It's also low carb and keto friendly. So there's that too. And then vegan, which most wines are vegan. But you know what? It's an added bonus at Dry Farm Wines. And you can give them a try. Get your first bottle for just a penny at dryfarmwines.com/Zack, Z-A-C-K. That's dryfarmwines.com/Zack, Z-A-C-K. And you'll get your first bottle for just a penny. Oh, go check out dryfarmwines.com/Zack right now. And also, this just in, guys. Body odor is officially canceled, and this time for good. Unlike certain other deodorants, Lumi Whole Body Deodorant is powered by mandelic acid to offer outrageous 72-hour odor control everywhere from your pits to your feet, and yes, even your privates. In fact, it was patients' concern about their private part odor that originally inspired the OBGYN who invented Lumi. Fast forward 6 years later, and her game changing whole body deodorant has now earned over 300,000 5-star reviews from people like me who love smelling great and feeling confident head to toe. It's my new go-to. Put it to the test at the gym. Next time I'm on the treadmill and be like, can you smell my pits? Do they smell good? Because, ooh, yes, they do, right? Choose from a variety of fresh scents from clean tangerine, lavender sage, toasted coconut. I've tried the toasted coconut and the lavender sage, both great. I want to try the clean tangerine because it just smells like fresh, right? Um, as a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code NOFILTER at LumiDeodorant.com. Lumi is spelled L-U-M-E, LumiDeodorant.com to get 40% off your starter pack at LumiDeodorant.com. Just be sure to use code NOFILTER. That's code NOFILTER at LumiDeodorant.com. The Bra Bros call Lala blah blah. I see that. That's kind of like people who call Teddy Mellencamp boring, yet they can't stop talking about her, and yet there's something about Teddy that pisses them off. I think somebody that's truly boring, you don't talk about. Everyone can't stop talking about Lala, so it's funny that they call her blah blah. They call her blah blah, and then they're mad that she does things on the show. I don't think it was boring to watch her, rant at the finale. I think someone needed to. I don't think she's boring. So I wouldn't call her blah blah. I mean, you can say she's feisty, you can say she's animated. You can say she's confrontational. I don't think any of those adjectives describe somebody that's boring, which is what I interpret blah blah to see. But I see that on Twitter a lot. A lot of people on Twitter are like blah 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 blah. They call her blah blah. So, huh, there we go. I like Teddy. I like Teddy too. Okay. What are you talking about? I'm talking about Vanderpump Rules. Or what I was previously talking about Dry Farm Wines and Lumi. What are you talking about, Delane Dixon? Let's talk about Diddy. Okay. Whew. So there was a new video from 2016 that is leaked online that shows Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, all the names, shows Diddy violently abusing his ex, Cassie. So they dated for nearly a decade, right? They were on and off, contentious relationship. Back in November, she files a lawsuit against him, claiming abuse during their volatile decade long relationship, right? A day later, he settles with her for an undisclosed location. His team made sure to come out and say that just because he settled with her, that doesn't mean that it's an admission of guilt. It just means they settled, right? Which, I mean, I guess there could be multiple reasons why somebody settles. Um, Typically, it means you don't want the details to get out in court, right? Or you want to save some money. But I don't think money was a factor for Diddy, and that's why he settled. But so there's this video that's online, and it is, I don't know if anybody has seen it. It is wild. He's dragging her, he's kicking her. It's very, very, very disturbing. It's just it's also interesting because like you see like a lot of news publications and people, and you see like they're using screenshots from the video of like her on the ground, and it's just whew, very unsettling, very disturbing to watch because he's just violently going at her. And he apparently, allegedly, he offered the hotel staff 50 grand to keep the video from getting out and to conceal its existence. And so I believe they discarded the video. He owned the copy of it. They weren't allowed to talk about it per the 50K that he dished out. And it only got out because he had the copy of it. So when his home got raided, that's when they found um, the evidence that he actually was abusing Cassie, and then it leaked into the press. And so a lot of people are even now arguing that the hotel staff that didn't report this and instead chose to conceal it and accepted hush money for it, they should be facing charges because they should have reported this. They were witness to a crime, and they deliberately concealed it. He ends up posting a 1-minute video where he apologizes for his inexcusable behavior, and then reflects on how this was just one of the darkest times of his life. And this was after he had hit rock bottom. And after this, he had to seek professional help, and he ended up going to therapy and to rehab. And then Cassie's attorney made a statement claiming that Diddy's apology was more about Diddy than it was about her actual client, Cassie, and reminds us how much Diddy denied these claims. Remember, he posted that whole thing about how he's going to fight this. It was very Jen Shaw of him, right? Claiming that people were making false allegations and that they were just looking for a payday. He strongly, strongly denied this and said that this was not true. Made every effort to conceal this evidence. To me, that is not an isolated incident. That's not an isolated rock bottom moment. That's someone with power. That's someone that flexes their fame and their money to get away with their bad behavior because they can just throw money at it and make it go away. Um, I think he's sorry he got caught, and nobody's really ruining his life but him. His actions are now coming to light. As far as the other allegations go, I can't really, like, we'll have to see how that plays out. But right now, his credibility and his word are shot. You know, he denied that he ever abused anyone. He said they were out for a payday. Now we have the actual evidence that proves otherwise. So now all the other allegations, I don't think there's much question about the validity of those because again, his credibility is shot. His word ain't shit. Don't go and say that all of these that Cassie was looking for a payday and that's why you paid her out. Statute of limitations. I don't know what the statute of limitations is for Well, I guess no, because she did try to sue him back in November. Oh, but in terms of the staff, I don't know. This is back in 2016, so this was almost 10 years ago. The statute of limitations for them may have expired. So Diddy needs to be charged first, yeah. Trust me, the feds are on everything. No, I believe they're on it. I think they're on it, and they're coming at him, and they're gonna come at him hard, and they're not gonna be playing games with this. It's just wild that he was really like, this is like, he was so confident in his denial, but I think it's because he knew he had money, and he thought that the money would protect him because he would pay people off. But listen, the evidence was there. They found it. It leaked. I mean, leaking is a bit, someone with the conscious leaked that video. Someone that actually saw that, he was denying this, saw that this was Cassie's reality, and they were like, "You know what? This needs to get out there. And we need to prove that he's not who he says he is." And he's not. But I think that that's a pattern, you know. That's not something that was an isolated incident. And again, I don't believe him anymore. Don't believe him at all. This was not an isolated incident. This was not a rock bottom moment. This was someone that knew that they could behave that way because they knew they could get away with it until you couldn't get away with it anymore. Canceled. I wouldn't even say canceled. I would just say done. Statute of limitations is 5 years. Yeah. So then, or can't do anything about it. Because this happened in 2016, so statute of limitations is expired. So all those hotel managers that saw that footage, that accepted that payday, they're praying to Jesus right now, thanking God that their asses aren't getting dragged into it now, because they should be. For a felonious assault in California, it's 3-year statute of limitations. Yeah, but that specific incident, but I believe she was suing him just last year in November 2023. Yeah. And he paid her off. Again, I think he thinks money. He paid her off and then has his attorney come out and say that the settlement is not an admission of guilt. Still maintaining his innocence. That's the part that's wild to me. Wild. You just said Diddy settled with Cassie for an undisclosed amount. Oh. Oh, it was reported that the settlement was 30. That was what was reported, but I don't believe it's been confirmed what the actual settlement was. Also, if I said undisclosed location and I'm referring to settlement money, obviously you know what I mean. The fact that you're like, huh? Location? What? Like, okay. Fumbled on my words. This is a live broadcast. It's gonna happen sometimes. Um, but even though it was, listen, like Bethany Frankel when she sold Skinny Girl, there was a reported amount. There were figures that came out in the press that people were projecting. She earned from Jim Beam, but she herself has said that those numbers are not accurate because her actual payout from Beam was not what was reported. So, yeah, Cassie sued him civilly. Yes, that is correct. It was a civil lawsuit, not criminal charges. Statute of limitations is for being charged criminally. That has expired. But even so, 30 million, whether that's an accurate report or not, that's a lot of money. Is 30 million enough though? Like what? Like I know it's a lot of money, but like what is enough to like make up for all of that? I don't think any amount of money. Um yeah, I don't think any amount of money can pay for the hell that you put someone through. The feds are going to keep digging. They want Diddy. The feds don't lose. No, that's right. Epstein got away with a lot until he did it. Yeah. Money will only protect you for so long. You better hope you die before they catch you, because then you're going to end up, 30 mil is not enough money. Will never repair. I agree. Because when you sue somebody like that, you're not really suing them for money. You're suing them for justice, right? Like Taylor Swift when she sued for $1. Johnny Depp when he sued to protect his reputation against Amber Heard. People sue or Gwyneth Paltrow when she was countersuing that one guy in the ski accident. It's more about the principle. It's more about the justice. It's more about getting the information out there to prove your side more than it is about the money. Same feds that went after Jen Shah, Diddy. Yeah, I mean, I think Jen Shah and Diddy are a little bit different, but yes, absolutely. Diddy is in a deep hole. Will he get out? Only time will tell. Cassie needs that money for lifelong therapy. Yeah, it's unfortunate. If he's on the lam already, he will probably just stay where he is until the federal charges lapse. Possibly. Has Cassie talked to the feds? I'm sure she has. I'm sure she's cooperating. Well, I don't know. Her settlement, I would assume, came with an NDA. But I mean, at this point, I don't think she's afraid of an NDA from Diddy. She's like, what are you going to do? Sue me? Your ass is going to prison. Man, oh man. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. But thank you for tuning in to No Filter with Zack Peter. New episodes drop Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with bonus episodes on Fridays for No Filter Plus members on Apple Podcasts, or you can get a bonus episode Thursday nights on the YouTube if you're a Zack Pack member. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for joining me this lovely Monday morning. Give me a follow at Just Plain Zack if you want to keep up with me. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack. If you want a personalized message from me, whatever it is, a breakup message, a birthday shout out, a business shout out, a little pep talk, some advice. You need me to yell at your husband. I've done those cameos. You can book it right now on Cameo. My handle on Cameo is Just Plain Zack, or you could just search Zack Peter on Cameo. The link is in the description below. So be sure to book a cameo with me, Zack Peter. Go and book it right now. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you all the best, and ciao for now. All right. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I will talk to you on Tuesday. Tuesday, let's get it. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. To the front, to the right, to the back, girl. It's your night. I know he thinks you're fun and stuff, but does he know how to wind you up? Dun, 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 dun. All right, guys. Ciao for now. Bye. Bye. Bye.